Real, what's good, y'all? This is Kiante, and you're watching Behind the Artist.
Real. Thankful for the reasons I'm still here with this rapping shit. Could've been a bust like Lonzo, how he got drafted quick. No dissing to that nigga. Me and him are too different. He ballin', I'm making hits like Alicia Keys. I'm falling, it's depressing. Never learning my lesson. Fuck a teacher, used to ball like AI. Even Kobe in the fourth. My talents were slightly short from other niggas on the court. I picked up my little pen and went and wrote a different score. This in my life. No overtime, only me and open chords. Still I'm broke, so me and you still even on the boards. You can't compare to how I feel in my configurations. No complaining, our lives is headed in two different places, more or less. Trapped in a mind state of never seeing my full potential. Resting on depression, I felt the need for these instrumentals. Wrote a letter, she still ain't get back, man, that shit is stressful. And when we speaking, it's like the only time you get forgetful. But never mind it, I guess we call it just stock with timing. Sooner or later, you'll see the bigger picture and the fine print. No time for beefing, I'm strictly vegan. On beats I'm eating, I'm on a topic I may
Okay, so what's your name? Who are you and where are you from?
My name is Kiante. I'm from a small town, Winsboro, South Carolina, and I am a producer, engineer, songwriter, whatever you want to call it. I could do it all. And I'm just here to spread the love of music.
Okay. So Kiante, where did that name come from?
It came from my middle name. So a lot of people might know me from Kid Vars or just Vars in general, but it came from my middle name. So my middle name is something that I've never embraced ever in my life. Like, I hate it when people call me my middle name. And so I was going through a rebranding phase, and I was like, I need something that's going to stick. Okay. And so I just decided, like, since I want to be transparent and open with my audience, like, use something original to me. And I didn't want to use my first name nor my last name, so I just went with Kiante. And I just added the period at the end of it because, and there's no capitals in it either, even though it's a name, but there's no capitals in the ends with the period. It's because my name is a subtle statement. Like, I don't want to be bigger than anybody else or looked at as bigger than anybody else. It's a subtle statement, so it ends with the period, all lowercase, and that's just the reason behind why it's spelled the way it is.
You said you didn't really care for your middle name at first. How did you grow to love it?
I still kind of don't love it. It's still weird. So when people call me my middle name, I kind of don't answer first because I'm not used to it. So, and that's another reason I changed it to it, because I got to get used to it and I got to accept every part of me. And that's one part that if people call me my middle name, I hated them. But it's kind of just like, as I get called Kiante more and more and more, then the more accepting I'm going to become of the name itself. But I still haven't accepted it 100%. I'm like 50% there.
Okay, it's your name though. You know, it's like, do you know the meaning of it by chance?
I don't.
Okay, if you look it up, I'm pretty sure if you find the meaning of it, you probably love it.
You can do that right now. Wow. I actually fucks with it. So, Kiante, the name Kiante is of African origin, and it means person of great responsibility.
Wow. See,
I fucks with it. I would have never looked that up if you didn't ask me.
I've been in a bad place since 18. I've been trapped in the field praying one day I leave. How you feel like a king in the land of the fiends? I done hopped in a coupe on the path to my dreams. Damn, and RIP grandma too soon. I've been through a lot since you left out that room. I know that you looking down over the moon and seeing the light from the sun. I refuse to blow out my fuse. I'm needing the clue.
But I feel like people, their names mean something. Like, your parents took their time out to name you. Whether it's your middle name or your first name, like, they took the time out to name you.
Yeah.
So, you know, we kind of need to know, like, exactly what the thought that went behind them naming us. Regardless of what it is, all names have a meaning.
Yeah, my aunt actually gave me that name. I'm gonna have to call her and be like, I just found out what the name Kiante meant. I don't know if it was intentional, but right. I love her, so I'm gonna call her tomorrow and I'm gonna ask her.
All right. So how would you describe your brand?
My brand is full of transparency and just honest, like just being as honest as possible. That's my brand as a person. Like, I do have a clothing brand that I'm currently working on. I can go ahead and put that out there. Okay. I'm currently working on a clothing brand called BEAR, B.A.R.E. And it's an acronym, and it stands for Believe, Accomplish, Repeat, and Evolve. And so once I push that out, it's really kind of aimed towards people kind of like me who dealt with anxiety, dealt with depression, or dealt with like being stuck somewhere. And so it's just all a process. Once you get down that it's a process and like your mind is what's holding you back, you get to that point where it's like, all right, cool, first I have to believe in me. And so before, everybody in the world can believe in you. If you don't believe in you, it's not gonna matter.
Right.
And so once you got that step down of believing in yourself, then you have to accomplish what it is you're trying to do. So for me, whether it's laying down music, whether it's producing a beat, or whether it's just managing other artists that I work with, I have to accomplish that and do it to the best of my ability. And then I repeat and get better at it. And after you do that, you evolve into a better person. So that's just the brand. It's an acronym: believe, accomplish, repeat, and evolve.
Or did you come up with like the each word first? Like what came first?
It kind of came at the same time, because when I was trying to think of a clothing brand, I knew I wanted it to be directed towards a certain audience. And so I came across the name, the actual word first, and it was basically just being, and it's a double entendre, it's an acronym, but the word bear itself means something too, and that's where I got it first. And it's basically just kind of like the naked version of yourself, being like who you were since the very beginning, instead of trying to impress other people, put on this facade. Take the facade off, take the jewelry off, and just be yourself. Like, just be bare to the world and transparent and honest. And so after that came the believe, accomplish, repeat, and evolve. So it's kind of like a two-sided meaning.
So I feel like you do like a lot of deep thinking. How would you describe? How would you feel like it translate with your music?
My music is sometimes hell. Like I don't ever sit down and write a full verse in one sitting, because I'm real nitpicky with what I say in my verses. So I might have a verse that I'll start and I might write 4 lines for it. I'll come back later and finish it. And because sometimes I get caught up in wanting to do a certain scheme, or I'll say something, I'm just like, a scheme fits here, so let me go ahead and do that scheme. Like, I got one real corny line in a song that I got called Rain and Pain, where I said something about like I'm energized off these lyrics, I'm spitting, I know it. No, I said I'm energized off these lyrics, I'm spitting, I know it's corny. But right before that, I said something about a bunny. So like, it's real like corny schemes, and I had like it was a basketball scheme at the very beginning of that song that not many people are going to catch. But of course, now that I'm saying it, they'll go back and listen and be like, yo, that's a whole, like the whole first half of that verse is like a basketball scheme, but it's like a double-sided thing with basketball and music. And so now I don't think many people caught that, but a lot of thought goes into it when I'm writing, so I don't ever sit and write a verse at one sitting unless I'm just trying to write a throwaway verse.
So who is like your top 5? Your top 5 artists, and then what's your top 5 songs on your playlist? Right now.
Top 5 artists: Westside Boogie, J. Cole. J. Cole is like my all-time favorite. Russ is actually artist that I'm really starting to like right now. A lot of people won't put him up there, but lyrically, I gotta put Big Sean up there. And then who else am I listening to like right now? Just to like mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna split that last spot in half. I'm gonna give half to Trippie Redd and half to Roddy Ricch, because I listen to a lot of Roddy Ricch and Trippie Redd too. So my top 5 songs right now, I probably will listen to on my playlist when I get in the car. Russ, Misunderstood. It's a song I found like 2 days ago. Westside Boogie's his entire album, so that's gonna count for one. Westside Boogie's entire album, Everything's for Sale, is in my rotation. I really mess with J. Cole's song, the Climb Back. I fucks with Trippie Redd's song, Love Me More is a song I really mess with by Trippie Redd. But if I'm playing a Trippie Redd song, the one I go to all the time is a song he got called We, and it's like a roller coaster thing. So I really mess with that. And then from Roddy Ricch, I really mess with War Baby. War Baby is kind of like in my rotation lately. I really mess with War Baby, and War Baby is kind of reminiscent of like Fairfield. So I think of Fairfield when I listen to War Baby. So that's why that's in my rotation. Introduce ourselves and kind of tell people where we're from or whatnot. And I literally, every time I say I'm an independent artist from Winsboro, South Carolina. I don't say South Carolina. I always say I'm an indie artist from Winsboro, South Carolina, and everybody is like, where is that? And it's like, if they hear something good come from that place, they're gonna look up who else is from Winsboro.
Right.
So, as well as I can rap, as well as I can produce, like, I'm never at the end of the day doing this just for me. Like, I could care less, like, for just my success. Like, I want to be a part of the list of people who made a change for Fairfield. Like, Jesse Davis, like, he may not seem like he popping, but Jesse Davis he got some talent, man.
So, do you feel like most of your music is kind of coming from your past, like situations with friends or exes, or do you kind of just is it kind of like imagination? Like, are they real topics, or do you just kind of dream of what's like what you see on social media, stuff like that?
Oh man, most of it is like real life. Most of what you hear from me happened. Mm-hmm. Like I don't fabricate anything in my music. I don't go over the top in anything in my music. I actually have a few songs that are gonna come out where it's just like literally just bragging. Like it's not even a storytelling thing. It's just like I'm here now to show you that I can actually rap. I can give you bars if I really wanted to. Mm-hmm. And I say all the time, like jokingly, but I'm also real serious. Like when it comes to rapping, like I don't know too many people that can switch it up the way I can. I can rap in 3 different styles, like probably more than that. But it's like you have the hip hop, you have your soulful, you have your soul, like your soulful rap. Then you have like your emo rap. I can get into that bag too. So it's different stuff.
Bitch, I dominated all the fakes. She wrote my life and then I take the 9, made it like damn. I don't rock an AP watch, no go. I ain't gotta flex what I got for a hoe. If she wanna leave, then I open the door. Tell her kick rocks to the street, she go. Then it's back to the booth full of green ice smoke. Tree for the mind, make peace for the soul. Never right my wrong, so I reap what I sow. Fee, fight, foe on the beats I smoke. If a nigga want beef, then I'm cooking it slow. Oh man, swear I'm cutthroat on these dumb niggas. Ain't shit sweet and I ain't rolling Swisher in a higher class in a bigger bag. And I ain't coming out until I drown in cash. Niggas talk what they can do and be gassed out by verse 2.
What would you say is like your ultimate goal in the music industry? Like, what do you want to accomplish?
I thought of this years ago. My ultimate goal is to put out an album, have it take off, and I want to eventually go on a tour, but I want to finish everything music-wise back here in South Carolina. I want to sell out the Colonial Life Arena. It's not a big arena, but to come back home, and I want to, same thing J. Cole did with his homecoming tour, where he brought Drake and he brought Jay-Z with him. I just want to bring everyone who I've met along my journey back to Columbia, because we don't really get people to perform in Columbia like that. Like J. Cole, when I went to that concert, was a once in a lifetime thing, I felt like. And then we had Ariana Grande who came, and like that sold out, but we don't really get too many people in Columbia. So
yeah, Beyonce come.
Beyonce came and did a stadium, but how often does Beyonce come or Jay-Z come to Columbia?
Right. No, you're right. Well, I'm like, hold on now. She did come out here.
You have places like Atlanta that got a concert every month.
Yeah, true.
We get one once a year.
Very true. So, you're from Fairfield just like I am. What do you think is like the best part of being from Fairfield and the worst part of being from Fairfield?
The best part about being from Fairfield is you kind of know everybody in a sense. Like even if you don't know them, you feel like you know them from somewhere. So it's like everybody's face. It's just there's a familiar face everywhere. Mm-hmm. So like I often go to the football games here, and like just looking around, I'm just like, I've seen this person there, or this person knows somebody in my family, and they're just talking to me. I don't even know them, but it's like everyone's like a family here in Fairfield. But like at the same time, like the bad parts of Fairfield is like, I feel like Fairfield is full of like hate. You know what I'm saying? It's like just like underlying hate that's not even like surface level. It's people hating on the low. And so, especially with what's been going on recently, I just feel like everybody needs to come together and just spread love and like not hate on the next person. Don't try to take from somebody else. Like help give something for a change. Like Fairfield could be a special place.
It really can.
It could be a real special place, and we just need the right minds to come together and just really put that change together. And I'm working on it. I'm gonna just say that I'm working on it.
Do you feel like you get the support that you deserve from your hometown?
Definitely not, and that has a lot to do with me. I went off the radar like 5 years ago, after 5 or 6 years ago now, after I released 2 a.m. That was a project that I had to get out. It was just after like a relationship went bad, like it was a bunch of lying going on, deceiving, and I just had to get that project out. And I just kind of disappeared for like 4 or 5 years before I even put another song out. Like that was my song. And throughout that time frame, I had like a bunch of people just still to this day talking like about like the song that I got on there, Devil's Hour. People love that song. My intro, Welcome to 2 a.m. People love that song, and it's like these songs are 6 years old, and people like are in love with that. And a lot of my new music that's gonna come out, these verses were written in the time span of like when I wasn't releasing music. These are years old, but when you hear it, it sounds like something that fits today, and that just goes to show how ahead of my time I was.
Right.
But when I start releasing music, I think I'll get the respect I deserve, and it's not really, I'm not here to get the respect, because the hard work is going to reward itself. So like when I put out music, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, you need to listen to this, or if somebody says, oh, I don't really like it, I'm just like, well, you don't know what true music is. It's like music is subjective. I can put out a song that I absolutely hate and everybody could love it.
Right.
So it is what it is.
I think that's usually what happens, because I've seen like I follow a lot of people who kind of went viral, but they always say it's always the video that they hate and that they didn't like that goes
viral. But and along with that, along with your question, whether it's entertainment, music, or anything, it's always the love from outside that picks up first before the people closest to you start to pick up on it. Like I forget what the artist's name was. He's from South Carolina. I cannot think of the name. He built his fan base outside of South Carolina, like across the whole East Coast, and then South Carolina was like one of the last states to pick up on it. And I was like, that's how it is. And I'm not saying that South Carolina is like that. That could be for somebody who's from Florida. We could probably be on the wave way ahead of anybody from Florida, and then it's like, oh, now they city want to like fuck with them, and it's like, where were you like before everybody else? It should have been first, and y'all should have led the line. But it is what it is.
What's the next big project? Like I know you're working on your clothing brand, and you have an album that you're working on too, but what's the other thing that is like really big that you're working on?
The next big thing that I'm working on is I'm gonna actually put this teaser out there, because this is what I said we'll talk about off camera.
Yeah.
But next year I'm working with my manager, and I'm getting together a media team and a team of like just people to market everything, just post everything. We're working on South Carolina's first ever like full-blown Carolina Music Festival, where it's going to be a full days worth of event. Like you got Coachella, you have Rolling Loud, like those are in these nice big places, California, Miami. Like Carolina Music Festival is going to come to South Carolina next year, and we're just going to build it up. We're going to try to get some bigger headlines there, like maybe some people along the lines of like maybe NBA Youngboy or Sway Lee or somebody like that to come perform. But it's to put the South Carolina artists on the map, and that's what I'm going to reach out to first before I even give anybody outside of the state of South Carolina or North Carolina to come to perform. It's like I'm going to let everybody here know first, like, hey, you want to perform, here's how much the slots are, pay it, you're going to perform in front of probably 1,000+ people.
Right.
It's going to be A&Rs there, it's going to be different vendors there, so it's like come perform and show really what South Carolina, Fairfield to be exact, like what you're really working with, because there's so much talent here. Like you got every sound you could think of here.
And you said your label, so is it under your name, like Kiante, or is it something different?
So it's a label that me and my friend, me and my brother Shazo started. It's a label called One Society. So it's not under his name, it's not under my name. It's like a 50-50 thing. We created this like 4 years ago, and it just stands for coming together in unity. It's like it's one society. Like it's not, oh, this person versus this group of people. It's just one big society of like brotherhood or sisterhood. Like it's a family. Everybody in one society. We brothers. And with Jill, that's the sister right there. But like, man, it's just a family.
Okay, so with you and your label, but starting with you, where do you see yourself in the next year? So I'm not gonna ask you in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. Where do you see yourself in the next year?
In the next year, I will definitely be headlining the Carolina Music Festival. in front of thousands of people and really putting a stamp on what South Carolina has to offer.
Okay.
So give me a year, South Carolina will be a lot more noticed than what it is now, and that's just going to be the first annual one. So it's not going to be a one and done thing. It's like this is the first annual music festival. And so we're going to get to that Rolling Loud or that Coachella.
So with your label, is that the same goal, or do you have a different goal for them?
I want everybody to do what they want to do. I don't want my vision to be everybody else's vision. Like I want all of them to perform, but at the end of the day, I want all of them to be where they want to be in a year from now. So if somebody wants to be solely a producer a year from now, then work on producing. If somebody wants to be, if they're a rapper now, but they want to switch over to trying to do like maybe R&B or something, like do that, or vice versa. If you're R&B and you want to switch over to rap, just do what you want to do. Or if you want to focus your talent and your audience in a certain state, push it there. But I know I'm gonna spend like this entire year just releasing music one song at a time and just really pushing like the numbers on Spotify, like because Spotify is a big platform for us artists, and that's how you really get noticed. So I'm just one record at a time, push it and get people to react to it on YouTube, and that's what a lot of people that I feel like from Fairfield should do. Look up reaction channels, reach out to them to be like, hey, like how much for you to react to my song? Like if it's a song you really love, get them to react to it, and they got an audience. That audience is eventually, if it's nice, they're gonna come to you.
Right.
So like it's all about just kind of investing in yourself, because that's what a lot of artists don't want to do. They don't want to invest in themselves. So that's where you got to start.
So tell people where they can find you, your social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
I am on Facebook. You can look me up by my actual name. It's under Tavares Craig on there. It's a lot on there, so you might have to just send all of them a friend request. I deactivated the other ones. I don't know why they're there. Instagram is kiante with the period 1996. And Twitter is just kiante 1996, no period or anything in that one.